I'm really stubborn. And when I make a decision to live authentically, I'm going to stick to it. And I think when you choose to live authentically, you know at points in your life, you're going to really, really offend people because they don't want to see you like that. We had an amazing pregnancy. It was miraculous anyway, but my body did pregnant really well. It did not do labour so well, and 37 hours later and 8 days in hospital later, we emerged, and it was hard. It was really hard. I haven't got the words to express how I dealt with that, because I'm not sure how I did, but I know God got us through. And when Lucy was 2 weeks old, we went to church for the first time, and she was strapped up in our sling, because I think it was just armour for me, really. She was strapped up in there, and I can remember people being so excited to celebrate with us. And two of our teenagers, who were sort of 16 and 15 at the time, ran up. They lived the whole testimony of miraculous pregnancy. Oh, thank you. Oh, wow, that's awesome. They lived the miracle with us. They knew us in the waiting, they knew us in the receiving. And they ran up to us. They, how is it? Is it amazing? And I just looked at them and went, this is so hard. I can't tell you how hard this is. It's just hard. And they looked at me like that was not the answer I wanted. And I just said to them, I promised you I would live honestly as your leader, and that's today. I had much of the older congregation of our church quite worried about me, I think, because when they asked how I was, I said, I don't know, I'm struggling, this is hard. And they didn't know what to do with that. They'd only ever really met people who had said that they coped. I suspect maybe not entirely truthfully. But I was determined. Oh, darling, here we go. Come and sit this side. I was determined. You play music for us. I was determined to be honest about the good bits and the bad bits, and the church had lived through the great testimony. And yet I felt it was important that they lived through the hard bits. And the fog did lift and life did get easier. She's never slept, so in one sense that's a constant that we got used to. Though if people could stop asking how often, how is she sleeping through yet, would just help me personally, but never mind. I was determined to be me in the moment, and to not let other people's expectation steal my authenticity, because the pressure to lie and to say I'm okay was overwhelming at times. But I wasn't okay. I was struggling, and I think people were worried that it was worse than it was because I was willing to say. But actually I think that was the healthiest way to be. And I think that's what God asks us to do as his kids, is to say, this is hard and this is overwhelming, and yet my God is bigger and he's getting me through. And right now it's minute by minute, and tomorrow it might be hour by hour. But he gave me an amazing gift and he will help me through. But it's okay for it to be hard. It's okay for it to be... It's okay to say it's hard. That doesn't detract from how brilliant it is. But I didn't feel the need to caveat my it's hard with but it's brilliant. And I think that helped me.